Hi, I'm Brandy Williams, founder of Williams Accounting and Tax Services in McDonough, Georgia. We're a full-service accounting firm proudly serving clients nationwide, including military families and U.S. expats. With over 20 years of experience as an IRS-enrolled agent, we've got you covered from past tax returns to business services and strategic tax planning. Visit WilliamsActTax.com. Let's get connected and take your finances to the next level.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Erica from the Classy Clown blog. Listen, we be busy. We had like 7 work calls in between this show and last show. Good gracious. They're blowing my phone up, y'all. They're blowing my phone up. But this is also why I'm like, completely, fully live out your dreams because, baby, ain't no better time than right now. All right. So, again, you can always check out Middleman to Million School Group. We go over this month coming up. We're going to go over government contracts. I'm going to see if Eric Coffey going to drop in for one of the lives inside the group there. And then we're going to talk a lot about bid boards and what's the plays coming up here with Middleman to Millions. And also, if I can get to it, if not, it'll be the next month after that, talking about creating a lot of these landing pages, AI landing pages. Okay. Second, land grab course. It's really a community. We've been talking about it for over a year now. We will continue to talk about it for the rest of the year. What are some of the biggest plays coming up in the future? It's going to be farming, tax liens, tax deeds. It's coming up. They still work. They still happen every day, whether you are participating in them or not. Prime example, we'll show this one first. Drop your city and state in the chat. We'd appreciate that. We are on we meant to go get a coffee. Now we got energy drink. About to bounce off the walls up in here. Okay, hold on a second, y'all. Let me see if I can get it for you. And I know you see the title, you're like, that's kind of dramatic, Erica, don't you think? Yes, the title says expensive gas and diesel equals COVID 2.0 lockdowns. Now you're going to be like, that's a little bit dramatic, Erica, but it's really not. Because what was the alternative? The whole goal of COVID was to reduce what? Y'all out there running around, right? Exposing each other, the population, what happened so far, Pfizer has a new vaccine coming out for Lyme disease, and farmers are saying they're finding box of ticks in their farms. It's pretty interesting. So this summer, y'all make sure y'all carry y'all bug spray and be prepared. Cough, cough. But let me show you this. I always joke about y'all gonna be living and making. I joke about it often, but I do really mean it. So let's play this clip. This is an example of a tax deed that y'all don't think exists. They exist everywhere, but here we go. To buy a house at the Bibb County auction in Macon, Georgia. Here are some of the properties that they have for sale. I recorded behind the scenes so you can see what to expect at a live auction.
10,000 going twice, 10,000 going third and final time. Do I have any other bids? And so, come on.
I ended up getting into a bidding war with this lady, but I was still able to walk away with a 3-bed, 1-bathroom house for only $9,000. Congratulations to me. Come with me to buy a house. Now, why am I talking about this? Why does this matter? You'll have people talking about they in Atlanta, they can't afford nothing. And then you ask them about anywhere near Atlanta and they have crickets for you. Oh, I don't know anywhere else, the rednecks around here. That's why we don't go over there. And I'd be like, all these excuses for why they ain't doing nothing. Why they ain't going an hour outside of town. Why they ain't going down the street. Why they can't find nothing. They can't find nothing. Very interesting how they can't find anything. So yes, her whole thing, her event is called Pretty Girl Investors. It's called it's like Meet Our Speakers is coming up. Pretty women in real estate. And again, I could go through a whole diatribe of why a lot of women, Black women, want to become realtors. You know what I mean? And they want to look a certain way that cracks me up because I'm like, what does that have to do with real estate? But again, it's all in the wanting to be liked. Attention is power. And I talked about that some earlier. It has its moments. The joke, you always gonna be more than a pretty face. You gotta be more than a pretty face. There's some amazingly beautiful women. This is Cindy out of Charlotte for sure. Y'all should meet her. But Cindy, I think I have her pulled up. Do I have Cindy pulled up? I might. Let me see. I might have her page pulled up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But Cindy West, let's click on Cindy real quick. You know, I'd be like, Dominican no black. Cindy's hilarious. But long story short, the past 3 years, and I'll show that in this. Let me see if I can pull it up. It might be in her stories. Let me see. Yes, it's in her stories. So she's closing on her first office with her brother. Her brother just passed. This is where she grew up. Her brother just passed his GC license. I keep telling y'all what time it is, but y'all not paying attention. This is her graduating from law school. That's right. She's a whole lawyer, right? And again, this is why I tell y'all, like, you just need 2-3 people and y'all can take over a city. Now, she moved to Charlotte in 2023. 3 years later, 80 plus properties, an office on Dumas, and a family business built on faith and integrity. Again, I keep telling y'all, y'all are putting these really long timelines. And all she did, if you go check out Cindy West's page, is pick up a lot of rentals in the hood or old properties that need to be fixed. And you can see it. And so I just don't want y'all to overthink. How do we get in this process? How do we buy stuff? There's stuff everywhere for sale. There's stuff everywhere for sale. A lot of distress stuff. You got to fix it. It don't come without work. But y'all will learn. Y'all find, go check out other people's pages. Y'all don't have to believe me. I got a picture up, I think, in my Instagram with me and Cindy, but y'all see more in the future. Y'all see more in the future. All right, let me see. Let me go on to the next. Let me go on to the next. What did I have for y'all? Oh, okay, here we go. A lot of y'all be like, where the big paychecks at? And I just want to let you know that 6-figure paycheck might never come from your 9 to 5. I'm gonna read this off to you again. This is how her husband got it down. In 2024, oh wait, can y'all hear me better now? I moved the microphone closer. In 2024, I borrowed $35,000 for my 401k, another $33,000 from a 0% interest credit card. I used that money to buy a house 2,000 miles away. I still never seen in person. After $60K in renovation, the bank paid me back everything I spent on my purchase and rehab and an extra $11,000. I rented the house out for $1,800 a month. Then reused the same money to repeat the process 3 more times. So she has 4 rentals that pay her $7,500 every month while enjoy the tax benefits and depreciation. That's how leverage is used to build real estate. I keep wanting y'all to understand that you have some black people who are on the internet the other day. I'll go there. Sleep is for Suckers host with the guy who had 40 rentals, but he couldn't figure out how to pay his bills and live a normal lifestyle. He was overspending. And then he's got a woman who's a millionaire house builder having a conversation. We all know in the black community, the number one argument you're going to hear online is about housing. Y'all took grandma's house. Y'all sold grandma's house. Y'all ain't got no land. Oh, we're in dire poverty. It's redlining. And then you go ask them, hey, you want to buy a farm today? Hell no. You want to go buy it outside of Atlanta? Oh, no. You want to buy down the street out of Raleigh? Oh, God, that's too far away. So just say you don't want anything and we can all move on with our day. Okay? Because these people that live in California and New York, they're going to figure it out. I'm not leaving California. I'm not leaving New York. My kids got to go to private school. What we got to do? They're figuring it out. Y'all living amongst these people and know people who gonna sell their grandma house. You know how many phone calls I've gotten from people like, hey, so-and-so wants to sell this. What do you think, Erica? I told my friends you in real estate and I said, Mama, I ain't buying that. They want to sell a hole in the wall trailer on 1 acre of land. I don't want that trailer. I don't care how long ago their grandma lived in it. Tear that bitch down. I just want the land underneath it. And people are confused because they will not do any maintenance on grandma's house, any maintenance on any house they live in, and then want top dollar for the money to come back. Roof falling in, door crumbling, termites tearing the house up, and you want full price for your house. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Have a great day. But you're going to get up out my face. That's what you're going to do. So again, how are people getting 6-figure incomes? This lady is a tech lawyer. I'm not even going to front you. She's a tech lawyer But she realized some of these jobs are not paying that much. So once you open the door to owning a few rentals and reoccurring income coming in your pocket, now you're having a different conversation. Now you have options. The America that y'all complain about is an America that has options for those who are paying attention. Only if you're paying attention. You're not paying attention, it's gonna be your next couple years gonna be rough. Very, very rough. Okay, let me stop there because that's not pulling up. I tried to click it. Let me see if it'll pull up this time. It's tripping. No, don't worry about it. Let me keep it moving. This is on the other end of it. So you're like, okay, let me pull this video up. You're like, Erica, great. You're showing me California woman took her credit cards and some money to buy a house. How does that help me? Well, somebody's got to be on the other end to flip the houses. So somebody's got to be out there wholesaling. Somebody's got to be out there being in the line of production. So you can be a turnkey investor or an investor who can sell to people looking for turnkey. So here we go. This is Beyond Win. Again, when the president came out, multimillionaire flies private planes, own different restaurants, different things in Cleveland, Ohio. Children are doing fabulous. I always tell people, look at somebody's kids. How their kids doing? Their kids all right? That's what I want to know. Call me when the kids is all right, okay? That show me what you produce for the kids. Let me play this for y'all.
Talk about why we can't get ahead. They're applauding you for paying 5 times more for the bottle. They're applauding you for paying $10,000 to sit over there because it got a rope around it. They're applauding that, and you don't have no investments. But they're applauding you spending $10,000 one night to sit over there and they got a red rope around it. They're applauding that. Stay away from people that say, you're going to pay $5,000 for some coaching. Stay away from those people. Because those same people, they applaud you when you get the section at the club. You get the section at the club and pay 5 times what a bottle. The Moet costs $35 at the store. At the thing, it's $250. But they applauding you for being dumb. It's like, come on, man. We got a whole backward situation going on. Talk about why we can't get ahead. They're applauding you for paying 5 times more for the bottle. They're applauding you for paying $10,000 to sit over there because it got a rope around it. They're applauding that, and you don't have no investments. But they're applauding you spending $10,000 one night to sit over there and they got a red rope around it.
All right, you can go check out Beyond Win page. Super guy, cool guy. I ain't been back to Cleveland and checking on stuff in a minute. I gotta go back up there, and mostly I just want to eat the food. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I want to eat the food. Let me go here next. Again, Erica, what are nurses gonna do? You know, what about the average person? I keep telling y'all now, I'm gonna read this Texas DDLG. Erica, enjoying your Middleman to Millions class. I'm a concrete mixer driver, getting my list of contractors ready now. Listen, I'm telling you, if I could tell you one thing, if you are in a blue collar business, the assets are mattering. I'm getting a lot of feedback from people going to go get the loans from the banks, the Chases, the Bank of America. They're like, what's your collateral? What's your inventory? What's your do you have any contracts this year? That's the top 3 questions they have been asking. So when you have the opportunity to buy the box truck, buy the dump truck, to have something to hold collateral against, I keep telling y'all, you're gonna want that. You're gonna want it. You know, you can run around and do $5,000 driveways all year long. You just got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. All right, so here we go. This right here is group homes and nursing. Again, I told y'all I have some friends who own like 10 group homes in Dallas. Somebody gonna watch these people. And a lot of these disabled, autistic children that are out here, parents are getting older. So again, these are nurses. We made it. Look how far we've come. I'm gonna get that copyright straight. Let me turn that music off. So they took a risk 7 years ago. Now they're closing on their 5th living assistance. Now you can go ahead and click her. She's a senior care nurse. I'm not saying get into these trades or these type of things because you don't care at all. But let's be really honest. You don't care about no damn concrete. You ain't passionate about roofs. You ain't passionate about going in office, typing on a computer. Y'all confused on like some of the things you're supposed to be passionate on. Like some of the stuff you worried about, like that's not important. I'm not passionate about that, Erica. I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. Okay. Here we go. Let's pull this back up. Senior care nurse. I want to make sure y'all can see her page. Here we go. Internet's doing what the internet does. Her name is Ann Garcia. I keep the Hispanic people ain't playing with y'all. They're not playing with y'all. They're not. I'm gonna show y'all a couple Hispanic people what they doing right now. All right, so this is senior care. She's a nurse. She's a mom and a wife. You know they gotta put it in their body. I'm a mom and a wife, girl. I'm in Houston. Now she out here in G-Wagons. Houston. Okay. I just always just telling you, man. Listen.
At HEB. My name is Ann Garcia, and I'm owner-operator of licensed personal care homes in Houston, Texas. He was so happy to be out here, choosing his own favorites and feeling that sense of independence again. Our residents all have their own food preferences, and we make sure their meals reflect what they truly enjoy. With a little support, he was able to check out safely and confidently. Look at that smile.
Now, I'm not saying, Erica, I'm going to be out here giving road trips to little old people going to go to the grocery store. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you need to make money off the backs of little old people. That's not my point. My point of this is these nurses is going to figure it out. These CNAs are going to figure it out. These people that work in these group homes, you're going to have a lot of older people. That's where they got to go. So y'all sitting here mad because they treating grandma Pam wrong, and y'all could have been ran something out your own house. Y'all could have been did some other stuff. Y'all don't want to hear that though. You can go. You can listen. You can go look at this and do what you want with it. But again, that's my 2 cents on that. But I will show you, you know, how the Hispanics is cutting up right now. They cutting up real bad. Let me play this for y'all. Let me play this. Brace yourselves. Prepare to be offended. I already know it's coming. I'm offended, Erica. Oh my God. Okay, prepare yourself. Okay. Y'all ready? Everybody got their tears cleared? Good. Okay, let's put the audio on. Right in
Houston Community College is facing a $100 million lawsuit. Hundreds of African-American employees, both past and present, say they faced racial discrimination while working at HCC. Channel 2's Roseanne Aragon is live tonight with a closer look at what this new lawsuit claims. Roseanne?
This lawsuit was intentionally filed today. The plaintiff tells us she represents many. Houston Community College slapped with a $100 million racial discrimination lawsuit filed on none other than the Juneteenth holiday. At the center of the case is Zelia Brown, a former employee who says she and others have been racially targeted by HCC leadership. The suit also reveals an email chain from Chancellor Cesar Maldonado, which states now we Hispanics are going to receive preferential treatment.
This is a pattern. That's something that is methodically and deliberately done to ostracize that individual.
The suit names Maldonado, HR Director Janet May, and Board of Trustees member Adriana Thomas, claiming they worked intentionally on a, quote, well-developed, systematic, entrenched, and wildly successful campaign of race and sex discrimination against top-level Black employees, stating that 90% of the longtime Black professionals at HCC have either been terminated or demoted, while there has been a 50% increase in Hispanic hires and promotions.
Whether it is demoting them by pay, placing them in a lower level position, creating schemes.
Brown says it happened to her. In 2016, she was hired to advise on grant use and compliance. In 2018, when she found what she believes was a clear pattern of misused funds and spoke up.
Every avenue that I would go down, they would present an obstacle.
But the lawsuit cites other alleged tactics, including padding Black employee personnel files with false complaints. For Brown,
they just immediately placed me on administrative leave.
In March, she resigned, and
there have been dozens, as I've said, that have come forward.
HCC says they have not been served yet, so at this hour, they do not have a response. For now, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Roseanne, thank you. Houston Community College is...
And what you gonna do about it? I mean, I'm for real, y'all. What you gonna do about it? This is why when people want to go back and forth like immigration, you guys are being racist. It hurts people, and they're like, well, it hurts black people. How does it hurt black people? There's no such thing as black jobs. Now you're figuring it out, right? It was the warehouse, it was the Waffle House, the Whataburger, it was the fields. Now, right now we over here. And literally, a white farmer the other day said he's surprised that the black people ain't came back to work. And they looked at the farmer and said, you only got like 12 black people in this town. He's like, yeah, but the next county over's got lots of black people. And the farmer was dead looking in the camera like this, like, yeah, I thought black people were going to come work these fields. The reporter looking at him like, ain't no black people in this county. Where the hell are they coming from? You see what I'm saying? They're not, people are stuck. Some people stuck in 1994. Some of y'all on some too short. Look at these Latino girls. Kiki and being stupid. Y'all real stupid. Okay. Y'all really be real turtle, huh? See, this is why I said you're in a forced collectivism. Because see, you want us to care now because it's hitting what? Higher education. It's hitting the community. It's hitting your tenured job. It's hitting what used to be an easy job. That's why I was going to bring Dr. Dix, and we're going to talk about it on another level. But Dr. Dix is working at multiple colleges. You got to be able to work at multiple colleges. You got to be able to do some online stuff and some offline. Y'all not ready to hear what I'm trying to tell you. These people ain't come here and not know black people is in this spot. They know. They know they're coming for it. They're like, what they gonna do? That's why I keep telling y'all, any black person that come to me and talk about not owning any real estate, not putting any money in the stock market, not knowing who a farmer is, where to get their farm meat from, I'm just looking at them like they're a CIA agent. When some of your favorite YouTubers are all of a sudden anti-house and y'all listening to them, I'm like, ooh, it wasn't until they went to the White House. Now, all of a sudden they anti-house. Interesting. When the most powerful thing many of the black people y'all see complaining could do would be to buy a house. Because then people would have to do what? Listen to them. When they got their complaints, they're a homeowner that pays property taxes. Right? See, even when you go to jail and they go, oh, I don't know how you're going to bail yourself out. You go, well, I have a house. Oh, the conversation gets real different. I don't think y'all understand. Go ask Bell's bondsman. If y'all know any Bell's bondsman, ask them what happens when they got somebody in jail that has a house. They love it. They love it. That's their best customer. Because they know that person gonna come out and they gonna show up to court. Ain't nobody trying to lose grandma's house or their house. Okay. So I just want y'all to understand what's happening. Okay. Y'all sitting here acting like we're conspiracy theorists and shame on Tariq Nasheed saying these horrible things about immigrants. And let's not have these tether wars. And these dummies is in internet, in the emailing each other in the office like dummies. What a dummies. This is an easy lawsuit. They're going to settle. But anyway, let's keep it moving because Houston wants to be seen as a black city. See, Houston don't want y'all to not come out there now. They want to be seen as a black city. They gotta rectify this. Okay, let me pull this one up here. This is I'm gonna go here. This is the Hispanic guy off of, what was I about to say? He's been living outside of America for 10 years, but only invested in America. But I want to show y'all these bones they shaking in the parking lot.
It just damn look like paper just flying every damn where here. Beth, Sarah, Becky, Charlotte, whoever. Don't piss me off, hell. Sit down now.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I need to explain myself because I got people that are commenting and attacking me now. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like people hating. 50% of people are going to love you and 50% of people are going to hate you. But all I said was, but wait a second.
I forgot. Let me go.
Okay.
Let me see if it's still up. If it's still up, great. If it's not, I don't think it is. Dang it. Let me go straight to the page. I'm going to go straight to the page. My bad. Long story short, all he said is he's going to put his money in America all day, every day. But see, people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Let me go here. All right, here we go. This is what he said. Let me see if it has music on it. Here, close that out. All right, it said, forget the US dollar. The real reason I only invest in the United States is because I can protect things I own with a weapon. Every other country's citizens get slapped around by their government because they can't stand up like a militia and defend themselves. This is the true power of the United States. I don't care. US does not care what you say or what you do. You have the right of talking about shit and protect yourself. Why the hell would I buy anywhere else? Now, of course, people mad that he said this. They mad. They in their feelings because they want people to run around talking about how much they hate America. If you got eyeball, if you can see every immigrant that can make it here, goes here, comes here. If they're already a millionaire in their country, they don't care. But 90% of their population is broke. And majority of these countries, y'all pick out on a piece of paper and be like, what about this country? What about this country? And I'll be like, they're broke. They're showing you on average, the average European makes less than 30K a year. Makes less than an average American. And y'all steady going, but they got free healthcare. Well, if you hoes stop eating Cheetos all night and doing the crate challenge, you wouldn't need that much healthcare. Do people have rare genetic things? Yes. Do accidents happen? Yes. Can people have heart attacks, fall down, have problems? Yes. It happens. But come on now, y'all be doing the most. Y'all be eating fried pork sandwiches every day and surprised you got high blood pressure and you got to pay for the medication. Come on, man, get out of here with that craziness. Now, why are people mad he said this? Because he's lived outside the United States for 10 years. So, of course, they get on him. So he's going to go here and explain himself.
Look, I'm going to say this. You're not going to like it. But Americans, we need our voice to be heard. And we need people, especially the foreign people, to understand how we feel. And so I'm going to say two things. It's not going to be something you like, but I got to say it. The first is that, look, if it wasn't for America, you'd be speaking German right now. And if it wasn't for America, you'd probably be speaking Russian too. And if it wasn't for America, you may in the near future be speaking Chinese. We're the police and we protect every country, whether you like it or not, right? And so what I say is the reason why I invest and only invest in the United States is because of that belief. We have democracy, whether you want to believe it in these other countries or not, we have democracy and we have rules and we respect them. And that's why everybody wants to do business in the United States that has money. And then number two is we have freedom of speech. We can say shit about our government, about Trump, about whatever the fuck we want. And no one will put us in jail like how your countries will. And then the last piece on that first topic is that we have the right to bear arms. It's part of our second rule. And we made that so that governments couldn't take our shit from us or couldn't put us in fucking jail if they decided to be the ones that would like threaten us or give us problems or make us stand in a line for bread, right? Americans stepped up during really tough times when they didn't have to, when we didn't have to, and we sacrificed our kids when we didn't have to go and save your asses. So we should deserve a little fucking respect. That's number one. And also, we have the reserve currency of the world. So number two, I would tell you that if you guys believe that it's the end of the currency, if it's the end of the dollar, I would be really scared to think what comes next that doesn't involve a democracy like the United States. Because if it comes from China or if it comes from Russia and you start adopting it, within less than 10 years, you'll all be forced into lines to join the military at 18 years old. Guaranteed. So I don't understand why you're praying.
Oh no, don't freeze. No. No, internet. Why? Okay, I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if it stops cutting up. Stop cutting up. Well, you know, it's tripping now. It's just going to trip on us.
Okay, this is part 2 of the woke mind virus that has attacked me from my recent posts. If you want to go and watch them or look at the most recent comments, it's absolutely insane. And you can see how psychotic people are about America and Israel and all the shit that is in their minds. But I can tell you this. I'm going to tell you this one thing. If you go look and watch the video, it's very clear. I'm American. I invest in America. That's obvious from my page for years now. My kids are American. And I believe after traveling for 10 years and almost 100 countries, that the best place in the world for me to invest is the United States in real estate, because that's my investment category. That's what I believe. It has the best assets, best multifamilies, best burst strategy, best banking system.
You know, the internet is not the best. Today in this America, this internet is disrespectful. Yes, I have 90,000 windows open, but that's not the point. I should be able to have 90,000 windows open all day, all night, and the internet not stop. This is the only part of Japan I want. China and Japan I want. Let me pause it here. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me and see me? Can y'all hear me and see me? Can y'all hear me and see me? Put a 1 in the comments so I make sure. In the words of Erykah Badu, y'all made woke look so bad. I don't even want to be woke no more. All right, so here's the deal. You can go check out what he had to say on his page, because clearly the internet is wanting a trip today. But long and the story short, because I have many more to show. People that talk like America's going to collapse, the dollar. I be just laughing. I be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like literally, people are, if you know anything about Las Vegas, they have literally foreigners flying straight in. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. That's my number one complaint. I'd be like, the dude who's known for nomad capitalist was mad because he's not applied not once, but twice to come back in America to visit. And they were like, no. And he was like, say what? I'm born in America. Yes, but you gave up your citizenship. You said, F America. You want to go play in other countries. I keep telling y'all, this is the hands down best country in America for you to become a millionaire in under a year. We got pure dummies in this country doing TikTok dances online, becoming millionaires. We got people who just fall down and luck up on $1 million in this country. That's why when I tell y'all, I try not to go too woo-woo manifestation on y'all, but it really be your own bottleneck. It really be you in the way, okay, of yourself. Right? Your subconscious self. Like the other day, somebody said something negative in front of me. And I was like, please don't say negative things about yourself, because your mind doesn't know the difference. The reason I've been able to have such a great life where I just go from thing to thing and I keep making money and I keep having a good time is because I literally know I'm in America. I meet people all the time less qualified than me that made more than me. Guess what? Keep going. Right? Like I'm doing these couple projects at the same time. And the man was calculating as he was talking to me. He was like, hey, girl, you about to be a big builder. And I just started laughing. But I'm like, yeah, anybody in America can kind of be that. But people love, oh, America is the worst. And the people saying it are people that ain't never going to go nowhere. They just want to complain. I remember this guy was a veteran talking about how we need communism. And I was thinking to myself, that's why I did my earlier show. Losers want to hide in the crowd. They want to cry about America costs money to live. Like, what? Don't be weird. Let me play this one. Let me play this one. Where is it at? I had it for y'all. I'm gonna do the climate and the lockdowns towards the end. So if that's what you're looking for, that's towards the end. So this right here is happening. There's a book called Localization. This even was talked about when Obama was in the White House. Okay. That we're gonna have to connect to our local farms. And people heard it and kind of ignored it. But now this year is gonna be a real thing because of what? Gas prices, transporting food long distances. States that are ahead are doing this already. So let me read this. Florida is leading the charge. Hospitals are starting to serve real food from Florida farmers, real food from real people grown right here, not extra processed meals, not packaged health food. For years, hospital food has worked against recovery. It's starting to support it. It's about time. Okay. Now, what do you mean? What's happening? Why are these Florida hospitals deciding to serve this food? Right? Why is this? Just like I told you about Harris Teeter and HEB, whenever the supply chains line break down for where they used to get cheap stuff from, or bringing in food, importing food to the grocery stores and the chains, they fill in the gaps with local farmers. Harris Teeter, Farmer, Publix, Kroger, all of them. These hospitals and their management teams have the same lobbyist friends. So the farmers in Florida are not going to end like the farmers in the Midwest crying about not being able to sow soybeans. This call me, somebody made a call. Hey, tell me you going to buy X amount of tons of food from farms in Florida. Okay, man, I got your back. We're going to do it at the hospital. And even if the food is ugly, even if it don't taste that great, they're going to go, we got this food from Florida farmers. This is how one hand scratches another back and you scratch another back. That's why I keep telling y'all, because they got a government contract. You already know what time it is. So now it makes Florida look like, look at these hospitals with this organic food. And then they're going to start next on the schools. That's why when y'all ask who they going to serve these maggot milk to and these bugs and all this food with bugs in it, who they going to serve it to? Kids at school. That's why I tell y'all, you don't want to hear me, but public schools are the testing ground for everything. The worst practices, Common Core math, goofy stuff. Oh, here, let's test this story. Let's take out, How to Kill a Mockingbird out of school. Now you go to all these private schools and they're doing the exact opposite. You go to the Montessori schools, they're doing what? More play, home ec, shop, after school programming, sports, gym, music. They're doing all the things public school used to do. That's why I keep telling y'all, you got the majority of children who look like my skin complexion in public schools, and public school is literally going to be like a cage with a bell. The worst food, the worst teachers, the worst situations. Now, can your small town and your small city maybe have a better school? And Erica, not all the schools. Yeah, not all, but at least 80% of them. They're setting that up right now. That's why there's this massive run on opening all these private schools. Even here in North Carolina, it's always been 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 public, 1/3 private, 1/3 homeschool. So they're going to put that maggot food in them where? Public schools and prisons. We have a family member that came out of prison. We took him to like the best food restaurants for a week. And he was just so overwhelmed. He was like, it's a lot of people out here. It's a lot of noise, traffic, but also the food was so rich. He was like, my teeth hurt. It's so rich. The quality of what we're feeding people is barely not even food, prisons or schools. Okay. So it's happening. You're going to see more localization contracts like this year. I promise you, you're going to see a lot of localization conversations. So don't, just give me a heads up. Be like, Erica, oh my God, I saw it. Yeah. I just told you now, but it's going to be, it's coming. You said they have good food. The public food system, man, all these crazy methods of doing basic math. Yeah. They better pay the most high. Don't you listen. You know what time it is? Also, I want to share this. This is a side note. A lot of y'all will be like, Erica, no, don't do it. But I got to. When I sat here and told you in Austin, Texas, some of the churches I go to have more men than women. And I told y'all some of the events I go to have more men than women showing up. And y'all like, nah, men don't care about church. Black men don't care about church. Please go to any singles group in Dallas or Houston. That thing got about 500 black men that you ain't never seen nowhere all of a sudden pop up and be in those groups. Okay. So listen, this is New York. New York City, by the way, one of the lowest church attendance cities in the whole world. Second by a few places in California, and then Austin, Texas too. And then also Florida, somewhere in Florida, low church attendance. So it's a thing said, come church with us. Now they're having these meetups, basically is what they are. And they bring all the politicals, all the singles in, and they're bringing all the young people. And why is that? Because what they're seeing with Gen Z, which I told y'all, Gen Z is the lowest reported group saying they're gay. Like, you're like, no, Eric, I see a bunch of gay kids. You're talking about a combination of millennials and some weirdos. But most of Gen Z is like, nah, we ain't gay. We ain't poly, we ain't gay, we ain't none of that. We're straight. And the pendulum always swings back, right? They seen the wild blue hair, the septum earrings, the people that cut off their boobs and want them back now. They seen all that. So this is a Catholic church event in New York City. They started selling the Catholic churches because they couldn't get a lot of people there. And now you're having, I mean, I'm calling it a church revival, but I'm going to just say they're having a revival of sorts. And this is going on all over the United States. Why? Because they seen what y'all doing and it don't work. They looking at them 50-year-old men on the internet talking about manosphere stuff and realize that shit don't work, bro. You 50 plus out here still talking about women. Shit, all my choices are to go overseas and I ain't got no money in my pocket. Where else can I go? I can go to church. I ain't trying to be funny, y'all. I'm real serious. They're writing news articles because they're like, why are these young people going over here to church? What's happening?
My name is Anthony, and a couple months ago, I was visiting and ranking every Catholic church in the Big Apple. And from that, I met a couple special people, one being Kate. And Kate had the idea that this week before Mass, we host a little pizza social for all the young adults. We had 180 people sign up, around 100 show up, and even had people commute over an hour to get here. Rumor has it someone even met their future husband. But after pizza chit-chat and a concert, we rolled with like 100 deep to walk over to St. Joe's. It was like a 5-minute wait to get into the church, and the place was packed. I try to warn people, if you don't show up 10 minutes early, you're going to be standing. And then after Mass, they always host a wine, cheese, and chat. I never really stay for the discussion because it can run pretty late, but this week I stayed. Also, the Washington Post is there. Anyway, this is your sign to go back to church. If you live in New York, pull up.
Okay. Now you're going to say, okay, Erica, that's just one church. That doesn't mean anything. No, they're doing national-wide surveys of this. They're seeing all these men go back to church, and they're like, why are they going to church? You know, we want truth, beauty, and the ladies. Y'all know what time it is. The ladies. That's why I keep telling y'all, if you're meeting younger people under 27, that 21 to 27 age range are going to churches. They're going to singles groups. That's why I say, whenever you look at all this 50-50 talk and this dating silly stuff, and you look at the crowds, that one group of black people that be on stage talking, what's the name of that group, y'all? What do y'all know what I'm talking about on YouTube? It's that group of black, it'd be like a man, a couple men and women, and they're always going city to city doing these tours, and people in the crowd stand up on the microphone and ask questions looking stupid. Whatever name that those group is, look at the age group in the audience. It'd be some old ass black people. It'd be old black people. It'd be old black people. Tonight's Convos, is that the name of them? Okay, there you go. Go look. They had a man talking about his wife just be dropping the baby off on him. This nigga was 50 something years old. And they're like, is your wife working? Yes, she worked. You in here complaining about your wife and she done had a baby and she worked, and you in here complaining on a note card? If you don't get out of here, man, and it's all old niggas, 40s, 50s, talking about stuff they should have talked about in their 20s. And that's what I'm saying. The younger people are looking at that and they're like, I'm good. That's cornball shit. I'm good. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Like, I keep telling y'all that whole, after Kevin died, I'm telling you, you look at who's talking. It's nothing but old people that 60 years old got grandchildren. Got grandchildren, y'all. Old. Nah, Erica, don't call people old. That's not right. I don't know what else to say in a nice way. The people that are doing these conversations are old as shit and sound crazy. These are the type of people you don't even let talk at the cookout. You be like, hey, why you talking? Why are you even talking? Be quiet. You're not allowed to talk at this cookout. So long story short, you'll see more articles like this. Don't worry. The Washington Post is also going to do one on black people. Give them a minute. I follow a lot of the Washington Post articles, and they'll do a white people, then they come back and do the black people, then they come back and do the white people. Trust me. They talk about one side, then they were like, well, we need to go see about the other side. So I'm just telling you, give them a minute. But yeah, that's all. I'm just letting you know, pay attention. Like, there'll be articles on it. So anyway, Let me go here. Remember I kept telling y'all about the highway, and I was like, I told y'all maybe like 3 years ago about this highway. We're gonna talk about it right now. And I was like, they got these government contracts coming through. Old dudes that should be behind the building financial legacy. They talking 50. I'm telling you, this is why you look at on bigger pockets before I go into the railroads. You look at on bigger pockets, and it's a bunch of young 26, 27-year-olds who just go out and buy 5-10 units. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, that's because their daddy's helping them. No, they're focused. They're not on the bullshit y'all on. A lot of y'all on this bullshit online, chatting, talking stupid. That's the only difference. That's the difference. They're focused. Okay. Let me pop this up. Let me go here. Okay. Now, remember I told you about that highway that's cutting across and government, you're going to get government contracts and you can get some money out of this deal. And people keep acting like, I don't know, Erica. Okay. Right. You sure you don't know? You don't know? Okay. Well, here we are. And sorry, I'm trying to close some of these windows. The speed is not there. Right. Close this window too. Okay, there we go. I'll close some windows. Should be speeded up. Okay, so this is the highway. Again, now what did I tell you about them government contracts? I said blue collar folks gonna be so rich, y'all gonna be like, this is crazy. But you're like, well, if white collar loses their job, blue collar can't make any money. That's a damn lie. Why? The government does set them aside all these billions of dollars. They're gonna get paid. US 287 is getting a massive overhaul. If you live or commute in DFW, this affects you. $2.3 billion. Another $1.5 billion. Southeast corridor, you get $2.3 billion. $1.5 billion, Northwest expansion. $80 million federal grant funding a smart port near Alliance to handle autonomous truck traffic. Tech stock studying full interstate. $25 billion. Why does this matter? Why does this matter? Okay. And everybody's like, does this mean 30 years of construction? It's possible. Do you see all these lines? This purple that I told y'all about is the future 114. It's going to go all the way across. They've already finished some of it. This green is the future I-27. They hitting the Mexico cartel route. Okay. All right. Future US 287 is cutting across all this sad part of Texas that's dusty and boring. Then cutting to Dallas, all the way to the coast. Okay. Can everybody see? I hope everybody can see it. Okay. So why did I talk to y'all about this? Again, y'all keep saying where the money at. The money is in you either being what? A construction company. Some type of company that does safety management, cough, middle to millions people, middle management. Somebody who can do what? Road tests, road safety, tar, supply equipment rental. We can go a million different ways. We can go a million different ways with this. Road cleanup crew. All right, all kind of stuff. So I just want you to understand. This money will be moved whether or not you guys participate. Whether or not you go. Now look at this. Look where the 287's going. Isn't that interesting? We shut down that gas pipeline, but somehow it's like they already have the money set aside. And it's going to keep on going. Isn't that interesting? You see all these roads right here? They already have it. The timeline is going to run to 2050. They going to stretch this money out and company going to get this money for a long time. Okay, long time. Love you long time. Right? And people want to argue with you every day. You're like, I'm good. This is my last year doing this because I don't have to do it. I love teaching, but it's like, baby, I know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Where are they going with this? You just got to line up and catch the money. Okay, let me go to the next. This was highway work. Oh, dang, my pen broke apart. Y'all, my pen just decided to die. It just fell apart. These cheap pens. Chase Bank got cheap pens, y'all. Don't ever steal the Chase pens. Okay, let me go here. Alrighty. Let me go to the next. What I have for y'all. Now this is funny because you either doing too much or doing too little. According to these folks, you're doing too much. All right. All right, I'm gonna read this to y'all. After a black father is going viral on Threads because he decided to uproot his life and move to Ireland with his daughter because she got accepted into a grad program over there. He simply didn't want her to live there by herself with no family. For some reason, I'm gonna read it. For some reason, a bunch of white people decided to start shaming and judging him for wanting to be near and support his daughter. The construct of white supremacy is popped up by patriarchy and individualism. White women were never taught the sisterhood in the same way POC, Black, Indigenous, Samoan were. So to see a Black father make this decision is something we don't even flinch at because we know in our lineage we want to stay together and support each other. Even though we live in an individualistic society, people of color still practice collectivism, like multi-generational homes. It's normal to see 3 or 4 generations living in one house. We'll talk to our parents multiple times a day with so much a second thought. Now, y'all, again, this man works for the government. He works for a federal agency, and they gave him a job at the U.S. Embassy in Ireland. He don't care. He don't care what y'all talking about. He gonna be over there with his child. Now, why is this important? It's a grad program. It's not forever. It's not forever. She's not living over there forever. She may be 2 years. She may do 4 years, right? Clearly, daddy's not married, or the parents got divorced. It don't hurt him to do 4 years over there. Now he ain't got to bother her all the time. He can travel all over you, take the trains, he can take planes, he can do whatever. But he's saying to be closer to her because let's be very clear. If you're an older Black man and maybe you just done with the wife thing, who's the next most important to you? Your children. Do you know how many military families I meet where the son and the daughter are stationed here? Then all of a sudden the son's deployed, so the grandparents come here. Right? I know when I lived in Texas, this girl's grandparents sold their accounting firm, picked up and moved to Pinehurst, North Carolina to be here with their daughter because she had 4 children and her husband kept being deployed. And she was just so stressed. She couldn't take it. Help mom and dad. And they bought a house and they daddy played golf. Grandpa played golf and enjoyed the grandkids. And then they stayed there about 3-4 years and moved back to Texas. This why, you know what I mean? Again, I've watched white people move to Texas as a whole extra generational family. I was in an apartment complex. Somebody came with their U-Haul and they dog and their children. Then their grandparents came and they're like, yeah, now we're going to have enough that we're going to get a house. I remember being at that apartment complex like, well, damn, y'all could have got a house a year ago, saved on rent, but they just didn't know what they didn't know. But this is common. People, whole families leave when you leave because the future are you. The kids are the future. If you're a grown man working for the U.S. government, you ain't chasing a bunch of broads. So you're going to go hang with your daughter in Europe for a couple years while she's in a grad program and travel. It sounds crazy to them because they're crybabies. They're going to stay in America and cry about it because he has options. This is an older Black man with options. They don't have any. They think it's weird he's following his daughter over there. No, the Black people, we travel together. If one Black dude start running down the street, I know half of y'all going to run when y'all see him. Because y'all like, I don't even know what we're running for. But it must be something serious. Okay, so let me just let me get out of there. Let me get out of there. I just wanted to share that. I saw that story today. And while I'm on kids, let me do another one. Y'all hate it when I talk about the children's. I don't care that y'all hate it. Because y'all children need whoopings. But anyway, let me go here. This is why y'all children is wild right now.
Adapt to these different thinkings. How much of that plays into the latitude that our children have now? Because for me, some of it is, being honest, was resenting some of those parameters that were in place that I now understand were for protection and for order.
Oh, bro, you just preached to the choir right there, because we turned resentment for the structure into struggle. We equated that to struggle. But we equated that to overparenting or abuse. See, we in this mental health era to where we feel like, and again, I'm not discounting mental health, but I'm saying a parent that doesn't allow you to interject into an adult conversation is not neglect. See, sometimes you should graduate into your opinion. And I don't think that's old school or new school. Like I'm still of the mind, I don't want to hear the opinion of a 6-year-old in an adult conversation.
Thanks.
It's a lot of people that let their kids at 6, 7, 8 years old have opinions about adult things or have opinions in adult conversations. And we equated those things, or the resentment that we have for those things has equated to us papping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not wanting to tell a kid, like, listen, man, we talking right now. This ain't got nothing to do with you.
Nathaniel.
This ain't got nothing to do with
Nathaniel.
you haven't graduated to having an opinion in this conversation.
Other than what was created in my house, that was the lens. There wasn't too much going outside, especially in real time, to figure out that somebody else thinks a different way, and I'm going to adopt or adapt to these different thinkings. How much of that plays into the latitude?
Okay, I'm gonna just go there. Talks about the whole podcast is talking about soft parenting and how some people hated the rules they had as a child and restrictions at their parents' house. And now they doing the exact opposite. So now they're complaining online about, oh my God, these kids are so out of control. They're breaking things. They're hurting people. They're doing these things. I don't know why they're acting like this. I can tell you why. When you comment under people posts and say, hey, kids should go to bed by 7:30. Oh, if he goes to bed at 7:30, he'll wake up at 5 a.m. Not my son. Ma'am, your son's like every other son. Take his ass and run him down the street a couple of times before he go to bed, and he'll stay asleep. This is the stupid stuff people try to tell you. Well, my son and daughter is completely different than everybody else's. No, they're not. The whole children are meant to be seen and not heard. People got offended and they little fifis about it. But at a certain age, if I turn to you and say adults are talking, I've had adults be shocked like, Erica, why are you being so mean? Because your 4-year-old is yelling for your attention over nothing. And instead of you acting like a damn adult and saying, hey, baby, we're talking right now. Wait, you want to say, oh, what is it? What do you need? What do you want? That kind of always stopping what you're doing and whatever the kid wants to talk about is the most important thing in the world. That shit ain't cute after a certain age, y'all. Like literally when I watched Married for the Money or whatever, the doctor, the female doctor in Miami that bought her sons and her husband all this stuff. And she's basically the only parent there, really. And her son talking about he want to get rid of the Jeep because it's old. After he had a brand new Jeep for 5 years. And she still bought him another car. Like that starts at 12. That starts at 10. That don't start at he's 20 in college being disrespectful to her. That starts when they're kids. And they just let the disrespect continue. Now, the issue with a lot of people is what happens is these boys and girls get about 14, 15. The mama no longer is able to control that child because she never wanted to set the tone early. And now she want to call the police. Now they want to put kids out. No, you created that mess. Sit with it. I remember a video going viral of a daughter whose mother put her out and they sent her to the dad's house. And the dad's like, she's talking back. She's disrespectful. And he wanted to put her out. And they're like, yeah, put that girl out. That's her father. If he'd had full custody of her even before now, she shouldn't be exhibiting any of this. But see, that's what happens when you're a non-custodial parent. Weekends at your house are for fun. You're the fun parent. You don't have no rules. So now when them kids get 15, 16 and they talking crazy, y'all can't understand why. I don't know what's going on. Like, we know what's going on. We told you not to do that. But you don't listen to the village. And what the village has to say isn't important. So we already went down this road. We know what it is. We aren't surprised. We told you this was going to happen. Let me go here. Let me slide out of here. Let me slide away from the kids because y'all get mad when I talk about kids. Okay. So let me get out of the kids. Okay. Let me go here to the voting in Georgia. Now you say, Erica, voting don't matter. If you black, it don't matter if you vote. Y'all making black people vote. It shouldn't matter. I keep telling y'all local elections matter. If you don't do the local elections and you mad about the sheriff, you mad about the judge, you mad about how you being treated, I asked you, did you vote locally? And you act like, why does that matter? Right here. This is why it matters. Let me play it for you.
When they want this law to only apply to 5 counties: Fulton County, DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, Cobb County, and Clayton County. There's some similarities in these 5 different counties. Now, in the 2020 presidential election, all 5 counties voted Democrat.
Blue.
All blue.
Wait, but they singled it because how would you even do that?
That's what they're trying to figure out right now. A lot of the opponents right now are saying this is discrimination. Now they're arguing that this will just make people be more informed and make people actually pay attention to the politics and their local government. But you only want to make this apply to 5 out of the 100 something counties that's in Georgia? Georgia lawmakers are sneaky, man. Lawmakers in Georgia passed a bill called House Bill 369. If this becomes a law, people running for certain local positions wouldn't have a Democrat or Republican label next to their names on the voting ballot. But the issue pops up when they want this law to only apply to 5 counties: Fulton County, DeKalb.
Now look at those counties. Let's really go there. You know why this matters? Because elderly people don't remember all the names, and they're the most people that vote. You know why this matters? Because half of y'all don't even know who all the other candidates are. You'll literally just go D down the D. And so when I would talk to people about North Carolina election results, I said that doesn't make sense that Trump lost because of all Republicans down the ticket won overwhelmingly, like 300,000, like 200,000. It was like 27,000 votes more than the Democrat side. But somehow the state governor was a Democrat. It never made any sense because down the ballot, people just go boom, Republican, and go R all the way down the ballot. Or people go D all the way down the ballot. So North Carolina, when people start challenging the election here, they're like, oh, you guys are MAGA crazy people. And I said, but every single position flipped back over to Republican except the governor. That doesn't make sense. It's not possible. But this is why they want to take this away, because they know half the time when you go in there, you only went to go vote for 1 or 2 people. The rest just got lucky. You checked off on them. You put a D by it. You checked off on it because they had a D beside their name. If this was so important for people to be informed, they would have it for all 100 counties. No, they have it for the 5 counties where all the black people are, where all the Indians with a dot are, where all the Koreans are, where all the Asians are. Does that make sense to any of y'all? I mean, if y'all understand what I'm saying, put a 2 in the comments, just so I make sure I ain't losing y'all. I know we get hitting a lot of different topics, and we haven't got to our final one yet. So just put a 2 in the comments if it's making sense, you're understanding. Let me know. That way. I said that about the states that had all blue in every category, but Trump won the state. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, and people can argue those. Like, look down the ballot. Let me see what's the numbers. But the numbers in North Carolina were so askewed. It was like 30,000 more votes. And I said, well, you telling me Trump lost? 30,000 people just went into the booth and clicked the Democrat and walked back out? That doesn't make sense because that's not how people vote. And people do vote straight ticket all the time. So why are they fighting this hard? Everybody keeps saying voting don't matter. They're gerrymandering, California. They're redistricting Texas. They're redistricting Georgia. Why are they doing this? Because local elections have consequences. Y'all can get those judges out. Y'all can get those district attorneys out. You can say no more. I don't want any more of this sheriff in my town bullying black people, beating up black people, beating up Latinos. Whatever he voted for ICE, you can have a choice locally. You can have an impact on the taxes affecting you. This is why it's so important. Black people complain the most about taxes. And I'm like, you don't own a home. When you don't own a home, you're not as in tune with what the taxes when they go up or property taxes for an area, because you're just thinking, what's the cheapest apartment? Why can't I have my kid in a good school district? Because the apartments over there are so expensive. Why? Because the property taxes are higher. That cost gets passed on to the consumer. Always. All right. So let me, I just had to do the Georgia there, but I was going to do a little bit of this part. Let me see if this is the spot where it was. I think it is here. Oh no. Dang it. Sorry. Hold on. Dang it. It didn't.
Solution to that is we must come together as a group and understand we got a problem, and we must develop a plan. And we must have one organization or two organizations get together and pull together the best Black brain power in this country to develop a very broad, comprehensive plan about where Black folk are going to go and how they're going to get there and what each person must do and how we're going to hold each other accountable. And we have never had that. And ironically, after 400 years, the white society has had a plan on us for 400 years. We've never had a plan on ourselves about what we're going to do. And what I'm saying, that plan must be political economics, which means, and under that, we must spell out in very specific details where we're going to go.
Strategy number 2, wealth and capital formation.
Right. That's extremely important. We don't have it. We have right now. We retain about 2% of our disposable income in our communities. We control less than 2% of the wealth in this country. Ironically, in 1860, on the eve of the Civil War, we owned 1/2 of 1% of the wealth in this nation. Now, after a civil war, emancipation, World War II, a depression, World War II, Vietnam War, Korean War, civil rights movement, we have moved from 1/2 of 1% up to 1 1/2% of the wealth in this country, which means the wealth hasn't shifted at all. After 150 years and all those problems and upheavals around the world, we have not shifted the wealth in this country. So what I'm saying is that we must then try to figure out how to move that wealth. Otherwise, we are locked into a no-win monopoly game where white society controls nearly 100% of the income, the wealth, the power, the resources, business, privileges, and all levels of government. We don't have enough resources and influence to manage our lives effectively, but we got a short time, we got to do it.
Wealth and group economics is strategy number 3. What's that all about?
That means that we have to be able to pool the capital and start saying to ourselves that no money should leave out. Let's take Detroit, Michigan as an example. We should be operating under a balance of trade agreement in this city. We got merchants coming in the city of Detroit selling products all day long to Black folk and taking the capital out. Where do we see any merchants coming into this city buying anything from a Black person, taking it out? They don't, because the white society outside the city is boycotting Black men. As long as you live, you will never see a white person drive into a Black community on a Saturday morning, go into a Black store to buy a product produced by a Black person, very rarely. And so consequently, we are not allowing our capital to be displaced outside the city. And
as I heard one county official say in an interview I did many years ago, it's the negative perception. If I perceive that I'm going to drive into an area that is unsafe, then does it make sense for me to go there?
Oh, sure. But see, a part of the package and the long range plan is to deal with the crime problem. You cannot deal with the crime problem at the same time people are promoting and criminalizing Black folk. See, only 3 things that a person can do to earn a living. Either you work, you're on the welfare, you steal. If in fact you cut those programs, you cut out the job opportunities, and you move all your plants out to the suburbs where Blacks cannot get jobs, decent job opportunities, and then they move down to the next level of welfare, and you come along and cut the welfare, they're going to go down to the next level and commit crime. They're not going to evaporate. So I anticipate a massive social upheaval in this country the next 2 or 3 years unless someone gets about the business of building an economic structure for Black folk in this country.
And that upheaval will be
okay. Now listen, all those things have already happened. The feel good 90s. After the feel good 90s happened, y'all know that's what happened, right? We had the crack going crazy, right? Well, the craziest thing about the 1980s is you had the crack epidemic, but also the highest number of Black college graduates at the same time. Go look up the data. It's crazy. Like, that's why when they brought out A Different World, HBCU enrollment 3x'd because people saw exposure. The 1990s were full of Black TV shows, normal, healthy, normal people, calm, positive. And then all of a sudden you switched to all this reality TV, crazy stuff. People don't have original thoughts, so they mimic what they see. So you're brainwashing people to see these really ridiculous shows where it's just nonstop drama and hollering and fighting and carrying on. And then you go, I don't know why these people acting like this. You don't? You don't. Interesting. So let me get on to the next. This is what I had next. Again, this is what I was talking about earlier. This makes no sense. No matter how they slice it, I'm going to tell you what it is.
Saw that letter in my mailbox. I opened it and I ripped it up and shredded the whole thing, threw it in the garbage.
For me, 39 years, they offer me $70,000 to $100,000. For that amount, take me 5 months to make that.
sound like a rap video. Like, oh, you 70K? You're gonna offer me 70K? I can make that in 5 months.
It's a slap in the face.
Complete disrespect.
That's a slap on the face.
It's a step in the back. Completely BS.
As soon as I saw that letter in my mailbox, I opened it and I ripped it up and shredded the whole thing, threw it in the garbage.
For me, 39 years, they offer me $70,000 to $100,000. For that amount, take me 5 months to make that.
Him and that laugh, I can't even take it. Okay. 39 years. This is what I want y'all to understand. This is why I keep saying it. Y'all don't like it when I say it, but this is why I'm going to say it one more time. Losers hide in crowds. You got a man that's been working at UPS 39 years and he can't take 70K and bounce. That means the foundation's effed up. He probably got a brand new car, brand new house, sending money back home to somewhere. And he been on that for autopilot. He been on it for autopilot. This is why every time them companies come and say, well, here's $150,000, the people get upset. They all, oh, that's not enough. It's not enough. $150,000, $100,000 payout is not enough. Let me tell you when it's not enough. When you're in debt up to your damn eyeballs. When you don't have no plan. You've been at UPS 39 years and you ain't got no plan. Come on, man. You ain't got no plan. You have no other skills. This is where this comes from. Y'all get into a job and y'all just want to do the job. I get it. There's a whole employee mindset thing out here. People don't want to think past it. But 39 years, no matter how we split it, let's even do it this way. Let's say he started driving for UPS at 20 years old plus 39 years. Oh boy, 59 years old. When he gonna go sit down? Now, you know, Asian don't raisin. So he might be 59. You know, Asian don't raisin. But what was the game plan after this? These people have been draining them dry. They ain't leaving. I want you to understand the average person will get up every year and go to work for 40, 30 years, buy a house, buy a bigger house, buy a bigger car, buy a boat, buy a second house. They never have an ideal how to get off the wheel. That's why it's called the rat race, because you keep chasing new crap. I bet you every one of them drivers got a car, got a truck, brand new truck out there. I just saw on the highway, I was on 95. I had to go to my closing and there was over, I would say at least 25 like Mazda 3s, like the little car hatchbacks and other small Ford Fiesta looking cars that had 30-day tags on them. I said, the dealership's about to make money because they know you can't make it the whole summer in an SUV. You can't make it in that old Tahoe. That gas is breaking your leg. So you're going to switch to what? A smaller vehicle. The car company's going to make their money off y'all because y'all never think outside of 6 months. You just, well, the kids and you be like, you been there 39 years? Dock workers, not all of the dock workers, but a lot of them are making $200K for 25 years. Houses ain't paid off. Nothing's paid off. That's why I said when they were doing these last union pushes, like, yeah, we're going to work with the unions so that people have pay. Baby, all they were doing was waiting for a year so they can get y'all out of there. They were waiting long enough just to offer y'all some money to get up out of there. Now we're going to hire younger, newer people that need a job real bad for $25 to $30 an hour. Right? I just don't think y'all understand what's going on. You just can't be for 40 years at a damn company doing the same thing and never thought it might end. When I see people get laid off from warehouses, I'm like, it's a warehouse. We've been reducing warehouses since 1994 via NAFTA. Even before then, there's whole towns you drive to Midwest. The town is dead. Everybody left. They gone. Nobody's there. They were showing this upper New York town that had 308 people in it. Used to have people because they had a factory. Like, you got to realize when people go into an employee mindset, they never think about how to make money outside of that, how to make money online, how to do a call center, how to do anything other than that factory work. 30, 40 years. I could do a whole video of people just when they talk to people after a layoff. They be like, I didn't know they was gonna do this. I just bought my house. I just bought a truck after 30 plus years at the factory. Really? What was the game plan? What was the game plan? This is the people y'all are. That's why I told y'all. Everybody's like, Erica, I don't know if I should buy a business. Who will work the job? These people right here. One of these older men that want to be called a manager. Right now, we have 5 applications for some truck drivers. They're all in their 50s. 2 of them are like, well, I'm going to go buy a truck. Well, go buy it, sir. You've been driving for fucking 30 years. Why you don't have a truck? Come on, man. Knock it off. Man, I drove through all my old neighborhood a week ago when I was in Cleveland. It's super dead. Super dead. The activity is not there. You know what I'm saying? You want to go where the activity is. People can think of new ideas, move money around. After driving that big boy truck, now due to gas prices, you're going to get you a Toyota Corolla. I'm seeing it everywhere. 30-day tags on little cars, baby little cars. I'm like, I know what it is. I knew that was coming this summer. Not even. That's why it's funny. I'd be like, I knew y'all was coming to get these cars. Who else was going to get them? Y'all going to start seeing people with real money are driving these gas guzzlers, just driving around town laughing. That's what you're going to see. So let me see. Is there any other ones I had back up? Let me play this and then I'm going to play the last 2 for energy. Let me, this cracks me up, even though this music is not the right music for it, but it's so funny. Oh no, how dare you? How dare you come back? So disrespectful. It's gonna come back. Hold on. It's funny because it's actually an Arabic song and the people in Iran are actually Persians. Now you maybe say, Erica, what does that mean? It don't matter. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. And that's why a lot of them are mad in the comments, which is funny. Because again, think about what, like, again, when people say, Erica, I'm going to go overseas, I'm going to go into these other countries and pick a woman or pick a man. You don't think they watching TV and have thoughts about black people and know you coming over here to beg for some barefoot prostitute? They know, they see you. This woman was like, yeah, that girl should go overseas and get a husband and do what? They going to be like, ugh. You're not getting their best and their brightest. You better get on with that. People be telling me them stories. I'll be like, you're not getting exactly. They don't speak the same. That's why it's so funny, but you have to actually know that to know why it's funny, but it's hilarious. I was like, that's not even their music. That's Egyptian. And the Egyptians hate it when you bring up they ain't supposed to be in Egypt. Anyway, let me go on. Let's go on to the energy lockdown. Because we don't went overtime, hella overtime. Let's go here.
Energy Agency just released a 10-point report on measures to take as the price of oil increases, and their recommendation sounds just like the COVID lockdowns. We know their goal is to track, trace, and control us. Just look at some of their measures. Stay at home, work from home, use public transport, no cars in the city, carpooling, use electric cars, reduce speed limits, reduce air travel. Just like the WHO did during COVID, the IEA is now asking us to do our part while they're flying on private jets and laughing in our face. And as governments are implementing digital ID and digital currency, the next step will be to block us from buying gas or plane tickets if we go over their recommended limit. We knew this was coming because it's part of their agenda, and now it's time to push back. Let's not fall for the climate hoax that's meant to control us. Stay free, my friends.
I mean, you're like, Erica, don't play that. That's internet BS. That's not real, Erica. Let me take you directly to the IEA.org. They'll tell you themselves what they would like, okay? The Middle East, they're talking about Latin America. They're talking about stay your ass in the house. They're checking it, right? They're exploring the energy crisis. Okay. All things are, that's why I keep telling y'all, when I keep telling y'all that you're going to see solar people make a lot of money, they're going to make a lot of monies. Like Donald Trump, when he's like, a lot of monies. Everybody, let me pull up Bill Gates. I mean, Michael Dell's son real quick. Man, I want to go work for them for real. Because, you know, when you work in the beginning, that's when you make the big money. That's when you get the payouts. Let me go here. We put it on here. So this is Michael Dell's son, Zach Dell. He's the son of billionaire Michael Dell. He's the founder and CEO of a base power company. It's an Austin-based startup that somehow raised $1 billion. Isn't that crazy? Like, I mean, it's like your daddy's a super rich and people want to be nice to your daddy. So then they, you know, donate to you. So it installs, owns, and operates these batteries to reduce customer electricity costs and support the Texas grid. Again, let me read that to you one more time so y'all understand. It is an affordable residential battery backup system on your house to improve the power grid stability. It's affordable home backup generator. It's an alternative to expensive generators. Now, generators go from $400 to $4,000. Now you're going to get this beautiful base installed for a low time fee, $695, and a small monthly membership of $20 a month. Okay, we're going to help you. They're primarily going to work in Texas, Austin, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, and they're going to go outside the state maybe sometime in the future. Funding, they raised $1.3 billion from Addition, Thrive Capital, Lightspeed Ventures Partners, Horwitz, and basically Google. They're setting up a manufacturing place in the old Austin American Statements building. That's downtown Austin, where they used to have a newspaper. Now, many of you hear this and go, I don't know, Eric, I don't know. Again, Michael Dell's son raised $1 billion. You think he's reading reports that you ain't reading? Why would we be talking about supporting the Texas power grid? Whoa, that's right, because the Texas power grid is separate from the massive power grid. That's why I keep telling y'all, Texas is going to build themselves up to be super independent. So will Florida. And if Arizona's smart, Arizona as well. But I'm telling you, this is where they're going with this. This is why you're going to see a lot of solar bros. Solar bros are going to make some money this year selling you solar, bro. And then they're going to refer you to this dude. Like, yeah, man, come over here and go over here. Solar, bro. Solar. You need solar in your house. Didn't you see how the power went out last month? You need solar on your house, bro. Anyway, there's another startup called Figure in Texas that's very similar to this company. Listen, y'all think I joke. I be wanting to work for these companies just long enough. There are people I know that work for NVIDIA. I know one really corny white boy. He got gold chains around his neck now. It's the funniest thing. You're like, he's a millionaire? Oh my God. Just work for the right company. Okay. CBD. Yes. Instant pay system is still in the background waiting. Oh yeah. Listen, they're waiting for y'all to forget about it a little bit. They're just waiting on y'all to forget about stuff a little bit. Did I have the Cisco one pulled up? Dang, I don't have it pulled up, but let me keep going. Let me keep moving. Let me play this right here. Energy lockdowns are here. Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, Vietnam, Philippines, Slovenia, Egypt, Kenya, South Africa. Fuel rationing, travel limits, reduced work weeks, all framed as temporary. Y'all know that none of that is temporary, right? Only people going to be able to tell you about this is people that do what? Travel. Energy lockdown has been coined, okay? Anytime there's a disruption in global oil, okay? I love it. I'm just telling you. A lot of people don't want, oh, Erica, don't talk about that. That's not true. And okay, what are you playing?
That's been put out there, and it's part of the World Economic Forum, what they wanted to do, and all these other psychopaths.
Hold on, sorry.
the International Energy Agency, if you're just tuning in today, in its report, suggested to governments, this is not a demand yet, these are not mandates yet, but it's suggesting to governments around the world to start implementing something that we call energy lockdowns. They're actually asking for rapid demand reduction. That's their politically correct speak. But what they want the governments to suggest to people / mandate is working from home wherever possible, reducing car use, including, for example, license plate directed activity, so that, let's just say, license plates that start with a certain letter or number can use their cars on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and other license plates that start with a different number could use it Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever. They're seriously suggesting that governments start rolling this out ASAP, limiting air travel wherever possible. No shit, didn't we say this is going to happen? They don't want people to travel any longer. Public transport and all of those things. Now, we believe that these measures will be taken very seriously and will be discussed publicly. I suspect that in Europe and most European countries, the governments are going to be very pro these measures, and that's what they're going to suggest to people. We should do that, all in the name of preserving oil.
Oh, now you're going to say, well, Erica, how are they going to be tracking people? I got one for you. Are you ready? Now, this is even happening in the great state of Texas, unfortunately. This is called flock. You may say it different ways. Cameras. They started using this technology. And I'm going to play it for you. Here you go.
Parking lot near the Mexico border on a sunny morning in March 2022. He thought he'd have an easy drive back to his Houston home, but he had no idea who'd been watching him. It turned out a vast and mysterious government surveillance system had been tracking his black pickup truck ever since he left. Law enforcement analysts in a so-called intelligence fusion center had determined his trip was suspicious. So using an anonymous WhatsApp group chat, they alerted police outside of San Antonio to pull Schott over and search his car. What happened next was a cascade of questionable practices that critics say illustrates many problems with what are known as police interdiction units, squads of officers who use traffic stops as an opportunity to detain and search civilians. In Schott's case, the Bexar County Sheriff's deputy who pulled him over on I-35 said he had seen him drift over the yellow lane line.
My name is Joel. I'm with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
That's a violation of state traffic laws. But while the officer conveniently had turned his dash camera off, Schott had one in his truck recording the whole trip. It would later show he never crossed the fog line. The deputy next asked Schott if he could search his truck.
Would you allow me to search your vehicle?
When Schott said no, his legal right, the officer informed Schott that the way he was acting, basically nervous behavior.
I've been wrong before, but there's just some things I'm seeing that makes me want to go a little further with the investigation, okay?
It would sound familiar to anyone pulled over by police. It was enough legal reason to call a drug dog to sniff around Schott's pickup. The team's canine unit just happened to be waiting nearby. When the dog alerted on the driver's side door, that gave deputies legal permission to start searching. 3 deputies combed through Schott's truck, moving his children's car seats, pushing aside diapers, opening his personal bags, pulling out the contents of his glove box and center console. One flagged suspicious signs of tampering in the bed. Another said he saw signs in the engine compartment.
But this is what I'm talking about right here. Like, looks like somebody's been in here.
But after an hour of tearing apart the vehicle's contents while Schott stood on the side of the road, they found nothing. Still, in a report later filed, the dog handler claimed he had actually spotted illegal drugs, supposedly minuscule flakes of marijuana leaves that he never mentioned or had tested. And county records showed it wasn't the first time a search report had claimed to have seen drugs when none had been found. If you want to read more, as well as see all the dash and body camera videos from the stop and learn about your rights when you're pulled over by police, you can find my stories about Alex Schott's stop and search on HoustonChronicle.com.
Oh yeah, they had to pay him. But they use a system called these flock cameras. And they follow you around. This white woman was accused of stealing packages. I had that one, but I forgot to email it to myself. They already prepared for a lot of this in different places and states, and I just don't think y'all understand what's about to happen. So again, you can look up this again, energy crisis. Again, yes, read articles on it. Go to the IAE directly, see what's going on in the Philippines. Again, America has a lot of motion, and we ain't stopping this motion. Now, all this reduce, sit down stuff is for broke people. Let's go there. Let's say it. It's for broke people. Okay. What's going to happen is people that are not making money in the economy are going to find somewhere nice and cozy to sit down and complain about cost of living, how America costs too much, and how they would leave America, but they can't leave America because it costs too much, and they can't afford to fly because it costs too much, and they would leave, but they can't get another credit card. They can't buy a home because if like literally people are trying to figure out a way to explain to you, right? In a country that loves individualism, they're trying their best to explain to you why they can't make it here. Right? And then you ask them, why don't you go work in blue collar? Why don't you work in the trade? Oh, I don't want to do that. You don't? Okay. Again, you can see all these different ones they're playing all over. See, these people used to walking. We're not used to walking.
A new global lockdown is coming and it's getting serious.
Now, again, this doesn't apply to you if you have money. I know y'all keep thinking like, Erica, no, I don't believe that. I'm telling you, this applies to others. Again, this right here. Let me. I think I have it. This right here is charter planes. So of course, everybody's talking about private planes, and how much it costs to charter these planes, and again, go look it up. It's very big business, right? Him 500 even bought a plane and has it out here rolling around. They scare you away from it, like, oh, you should never buy it. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of people on Instagram. One of the guys is Charter King. It's a black guy. They be having empty legs all day, every day. That's why I just tell y'all, I'm like, it just depends on what are y'all reading? What are you looking up? If all your stuff that comes up on your social media, which again, they quit showing you everything on social media. They just show you what they want to show you, right? And so you go on somewhere like this, and this dude is, showing you empty legs all day. It just happened to be a black guy doing it. But this is very common. This is brokering flights. It's very common. Now, a lot of times you go in here, you look on his page, okay, $16,000, from St. Louis to Houston. You're like, who's going St. Louis to Houston? Plenty of people. Houston to Augusta, right? Now, this is just one guy. If you end up having, let's just be honest, you have about 10 of these guys blowing you up and they know your usual routes. Let's say you're going from San Diego to Austin, Texas, which JSX did a lot of San Diego to Austin, Texas. Other people are going to compete for that same lane. That's all. Go look it up. Basically, these rules are going to apply to people who, my kids, my office job. It's not going to apply to people who, they're going to find loopholes for business owners, loophole for people who own planes, loopholes for people who are farmers. Again, this is how they're going to do it. Let me play this too.
Well, it's a bad day to be in the cannabis industry in the state of Texas. Damn. Our Governor Abbott, who absolutely loves building mosques in the state of Texas and absolutely loves taking Muslim money, has decided that I guess marijuana is haram, right? And doesn't want it in the stores in Texas. Think about it. They take money from the Muslims, and the next thing you know, it's like weed's haram. We don't want it sold. Because I promise you, it ain't Americans fighting to prevent weed from coming to Texas. But now THCA and CBD with above a 0.1% THC quality in it is now legal in the state of Texas. There's over 19,000 people, or maybe it's 19,000 stores here in the state of Texas that are now going to be under scrutiny. So while liberal judges in Dallas and Houston are letting murderers, traffickers, and rapists out, on a regular basis, you can guarantee that stupid ass shitty suburban towns like Allen, Texas will be kicking in these vendors, these people that have legitimate businesses that worked for the last 5 or 10 years to build that business. Our government is just going to shut them down against the will of the people. And these low IQ police officers, like in the city of Allen, Texas, will be kicking in doors all day long because they ain't got shit to do. Their city's boring. And instead of being happy that they have a crime-free city, they go pick on citizens. Yeah, you, Allen. So while everybody on the internet is saying that alcohol money is what's causing this THC ban, I believe that it's the massive amounts of Muslim money that our politicians here in Texas are taking, and marijuana is definitely haram. And that, my friends, is why I believe we're seeing such a crackdown on something that nobody in this state wants. Even if you don't smoke weed, people don't give a shit, right? And by the way, police officers that arrest people for weed, it's going to be hard to find a jury of 12 fucking people to convict somebody of it. Just saying, what a waste of time. If you get arrested for marijuana, as long as it's not dealing, you get arrested for possession, fight that shit. Ain't no jury of 12 going to convict you. And the judges and courts know it, and it is a waste of time. But Governor Abbott spinning around on those two wheels of his, taking all that Muslim money, you can thank him for this. Wasn't the will of the people. It was the will of foreigners with more money than the people, because we're exploited, taxed to death, and chattel for these people that run oil and finance in our country. And by the way, all of this effectively opens back up the black market to trafficking marijuana across the borders from Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, and Mexico, creates a whole black market. So it unemploys 19,000 plus people and creates a black market that empowers drug dealers. That's your government's thought process. These idiots are so stupid. They don't understand unintended consequences. It's never understood the byproducts of their stupidity. So welcome to all the drug dealers back into the game.
Again, I want y'all to understand. No, they understood fully what they were doing. They understood fully. Like, they're literally military people who are being sued over the custody of their children. Like, there's a man who has like extreme, like, he got blown up in a truck in the military, and he was taking gummies to help with the pain. Nothing else helped with the pain. And the grandparents of his in-laws, which is his wife's mother and father, are devout Christians in East Texas and sued for custody. So what was the underlying? Well, he does marijuana. And this was white people. These ain't even black people. These are white people. And the grandparents kept taking it to court. And Texas basically told them, like, we can take your child because you are doing drugs. So the dad went to Colorado so he could be under the protection of Colorado. I know 2 people right now living in Georgia praying they never get stopped, right? It's not the alcohol industry. That's what I keep trying to get y'all to say. Like, the Dallas Mavericks, the only reason that woman from Las Vegas bought the Dallas Mavericks is to get gambling into Texas. And they're going back in the reverse. Right? So again, but what fights this? Money. You got to unify your industry. Again, Airbnb fought so hard for 5 years straight in Austin, Texas. The government had to say, look. The hotel lobby industry said, look, let's take a 5-year break and come back and fight again. That was their agreement. We're going to stop fighting each other for 5 years and come back in. You think Airbnb going to be more powerful in 5 years or less powerful? Right? The hotel industry is taking the bet that they'll be less powerful. Gambling is haram, but they be in there haramming. You know what I mean? They, knock it off. They be out there doing the most. But again, I've noticed empty gas stations where they used to sell it. Yeah, go back and look at the Tulsa King. It's the Wild West anyway, because the federal government won't release that it's against the law. That's all it is. That's right. That marijuana is hurting them heroin sales. Okay, they gotta lock it down. But go look some of that up. Look up Lawman. Like, again, I know people want to be fed information through entertainment. Go look up Lawman. Go watch Lawman. Go watch The Boiling Room for the stock market, right? Go watch The Big Short. Go watch Tulsa King. Now, you see, he was going to do New Orleans, Nola King with Samuel L. Jackson. He was going to talk about that oil industry out in New Orleans. And New Orleans said, no, you're not. So now they got to change the whole show. They about to put Samuel Jackson in Texas because they can no longer do New Orleans. They told Mr. Sherman, don't come down here talking that shit on New Orleans oil and gas. We got enough corruption on our hand. We will not green light this show in New Orleans. So you act like, oh, some of them shows are full of crap. No, it's real. Even when you saw Yellowstone, and people like, nah, they can't be killing people. Do you know how many mysterious deaths happen near big farms and ranches? All the time. All the time. Let me show you one more mysterious. Now, this is Ryan Stewman. Of course, y'all can go check him out. He bought a ranch. He went to jail selling drugs, came out, became a mortgage broker, made a lot of money. You can go check out his information, all his stuff, right? Now, this is the one post I agree with. I'm gonna give you some real financial game, but it's up to you to believe it. Now is the time to borrow money. Every real dollar you make should be in cash, extra cash in a safe. Borrowing money puts the bank at risk, but allows you to keep cash. If the economy collapses, you don't want to be using your own cash to stay afloat. You want to use the bank's money and put the risk on them. Worst case, you got your cash and the bank is left on the hook if things collapse. Applying for credit cards and securing business loans is the best way to stack your own cash and minimize your risk, especially since rates could go up again this year. The Fed flip-flop on that already too. Lines of credit, both personal and corporate, are necessary in uncertain times. Bet on yourself with the bank's money. If you want to strategize with us at Closure Capital on the move with you, let me know. Let me tell you guys, I've been on the phone with a lot of you. Going to the bank, confused with what's happening. They're asking for collateral, right? They're asking for a lot of stuff. I'm telling you what's happening. Go apply for that money or start your business now so that you'll have that 2-year window in 2 years. Because I have LLCs that I've just let season, right? I opened them and let them sit with a bank account with $25 in it and just let it season. And now it's a 2-year mark. And I come back around and start doing business with it. This is a common old technique. It's not nothing powerful, nothing unique. But what you're going to start seeing is all these people talking about business funding, and they're calling your phone all day. They're doing all this stuff because they know business owners are having a hard time with the banks. They're having a hard time with all these different places. So it'll be a lot of unique funding going around. Okay. So, do I have anything else for y'all today? Today has been a long day. Ooh, it's been a long one. Oh, this is the last one I'm gonna go over. And this is full conspiracy theory. You can get out of here if you want. The killing of a developer in the shadow of a $7 billion vision. Jerry Lewis, tied to Chicago's ambitious 1901 project, was fatally shot in broad daylight near the United Center, marking a devastating loss in a neighborhood he helped shape. Jerry Lewis is a 67-year-old developer and contractor affiliated with the $7 billion 1901 project. Who was part of the vision? A builder who family and local leaders said focused on helping long-term residents find a foothold in the neighborhood's next chapter. But on Tuesday afternoon, as he moved between offices, just blocks from the development, that future was interrupted. According to Cook County, one of the most corruption-based places in America, 2 men allegedly waited for 90 minutes before ambushing Lewis outside a secure building on West Madison Street, a shooting that unfolded in broad daylight and in the view of nearby police. The suspects were apprehended at the scene, authorities said, but the motive remains unclear. What is clear is the dissonance. A high-profile killing in the middle of Chicago's most closely watched redevelopment corridors. Jerry never cared about someone's past and extended grace to those looking to improve their lives, Alderman Walter Burnett said in a statement. Now, everybody and their mom in the comments is straight up like, hey, this was a hit, baby. Now, my first thing I'm going to tell you is a Black developer got the main contract. Baby, let me tell you, if I got the main contract on $7 billion in Chicago, I'm having bodyguards the next day. I'm going to have a bodyguard that's attached with me like at the hip. He's going to the bathroom to piss with me. $7 billion? Sir, he didn't know what he was up against. He should have had personal security that day. I remember when, I'm not going to say their name. A couple people I know on YouTube got some money. Like they made $10 million, but they ain't say it on YouTube. They had security at Earn Your Leisure. They had security. Security. Okay. I saw this last week. Crazy. You need to have something. You ain't just running in between projects on a rough side of town. Legit question. If we as blacks become successful as that elder was, wouldn't this just happen to all of us? No, the reason this can happen as one-offs because people don't work in teams. The reason this one brother can be picked off is because where the hell is his team? Once he was announced that he had a $7 billion, like he was part of the contract, he should have had private security that day. He needed private security that day. The day they were competing, economic warfare. Again, when people tell me they want to go live overseas, nobody cares you want to live in Japan. Nobody cares you want to live in Korea. Nobody cares you want to live in Vietnam. But when you start trying to open businesses, go watch Black in Japan. Everybody that opened a business all of a sudden started getting all this pushback. Everybody that wants to do something political or make any changes in those countries got pushback. When you want to go goof off and just spend your money like a tourist, nobody gives a damn about you. When you want to actually move money and control power in a city, in a state, now you're on the radar. The average person is going to be off in la la land, getting high, sitting at their house, complaining about gas. People who actually move and shake out here in very little time can get up to $30-40 million net worth very quickly, very fast. So no, what happens in Santos Clutch is something I've been saying for a while. Black people have already been in a very sharp K-shaped economy, and you're just going to see that continue. You're going to have a 20-30% of Black people that rise up even higher. Even if you look at The Real Deal, they have a magazine that comes out monthly. Their top multimillionaire, movers and shakers of the earth, real estate, were the only Black ones were Houston and Chicago. That's it. All the rest in the whole magazine, hundreds and hundreds of pictures, were all white and Jewish people. Go check on Black people when they start developing. When Chris Senegal was developing in the 5th ward, the 3rd ward, white men kept coming to him like, who are you? Who's financing you? Who's financing you? Why? Because 5 families own 80% of the 3rd and 5th ward. 2 Italian families and 3 Jewish families own 80% of the rentals in the 5th and 3rd ward. Now they got this whole waterfront coming over here. You don't think that matters? You don't think these people working together and saying, let's buy up everything? And here you come. You come over here trying to mess up our good thing, our party we got going? Please. They notice, but that's why you work in teams. It only takes 2-3 of y'all to take over a city. It only takes 2-3. The Nigerians in Houston are able to do as much as they do. And y'all can get mad at me, and the Nigerian people from Houston get mad at me, because the Vietnamese paid a lot of what you see. Now, what do I mean the Vietnamese paid? The Vietnamese gave a lot of the private money y'all saw. All that private money, hard money lenders were not messing with Black folks in Houston. The Vietnamese were trying to get into the mix. And for whatever reason, the white people weren't messing with the Vietnamese. They wouldn't let them put their little fish money over. They wouldn't let them put their restaurant money over in a lot of the private equity companies. And so all them Black builders and developers y'all see in Houston, if they've been out longer than 6 years, they've been using Vietnamese money. They've been using the restaurant money, because that's who would lend to them. That's why when y'all tell me, oh, I don't want to buy any houses or be in real estate, you already out the game. Ain't nobody care what you're talking about. At that point, I don't have to care about anything you're talking about at that point. I'm being very honest with y'all. If you tell me at any point in time, oh, I don't care about real estate, okay, I just want to go overseas. Peace out. I'm done talking to you, because I already know you're not awake. I already know you sleep at the wheel. I'm like, oh, you don't know? Oh, you ain't, you don't know. Good to know. Let me get on from talking with you. Very organized, very organized. Like, I'm even being honest with you. Some of the Asians that wanted to work with us that came out of New York, they were saying how they got pushed back off Wall Street. So they giving them pushback even when they big heavy in New York. So who can they work with? What does every group work with before they get working with white people? Black people. Grant Cardone, WB TV channel, Fox, before it got, bought out. They run all these Black TV show, Friends, Living Color, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden next year they come out with a mimic show with white people friends. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. No, teams and communism are not the same. The teams are different than communism. Communism means we're going to collectively take from people via the force of the government and redistribute it. And that never works. It's never worked in any society yet to this day. It don't even damn work in Russia. Okay. What does work? Teams work because teams are, hey, you're an attorney. Hey, I'm a builder. Let's get together and buy up stuff and do stuff. Hey, you're a builder. Hey, I'm a social media person. Let's see how many people we can get to show up to an auction in Birmingham, Alabama. That's Charles Noonan, right? He partnered with some women. He brought out like 600 Black people to go to Birmingham, Alabama to buy up tax deeds and tax liens. That's a team, right? A team is a realtor and a builder. Hey, man, you build them and I'm gonna be out here pushing them and supporting them. A team is one person financial, one person operation. That's a team. What is a business? A business is just two things: financial, aka sales, and the other half is operations. If you have a business and you have no sales, you have no business. If you have a business and you're making money, but the operations is messy, okay, that's something that can be fixed. Teams and communism are not the same thing at all. Is that clear for everybody? If anybody have any questions, it's the perfect time to say it. There you go. Communism, if you're a doctor and I'm a landscaper, we both get the same amount of money per month. Same in the military, though. Military, you'd be like, so what? We get the same pay. But baby, the way they look at you and you a cook and they look at me and I'm a doctor is two different things. And by the time 4 years in, you still a cook and now I'm a doctor making 10K a month. We in different levels at that point. Teams in the community are essentially communism. Let the nerds and lanes build while the rest of the old community. I'm telling you, this is why people's old daddies come back and call on, can I live with you? And all this stuff. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, for sure. Yeah, Ray Gun, that's what I'm telling you. Thank you for the soup cat. Appreciate it. Remember the rapper that moved to South Africa, tried to start changing things? They arrested him for an indefinite period of time. Yeah. Y'all want to go out here in these countries? Man, these people knock you over your head. You better get out of their country and get out of their face. What's up, new member? What's up, new member? Again, thank you for the super chat. But yeah, I just wanted to roll that out to y'all. That's all I have for today. It ain't even I ain't even stressing that serious about it because I already know I've seen a lot of stuff play out. And if I just stay focused on my summer plan, it's gonna be great. Because I already know some people done gave up. Oh my God, the gas price is gonna be so blah blah blah. And I'm like, if you already gave up, good to know. Good to know. Easy to get you out the way. Right? We're gonna be at Martha's Vineyard in August. And hope to see you there, right? So again, this again will increase. They're rich but not famous. Again, this comes from land sales. This comes from a lot of stuff. When people are like, yeah, half the country living paycheck to paycheck. Again, this is a sliver of families. Okay, this is a sliver of families who are, 500,000 households who have 30 million and up. This ain't just two people in a closet somewhere. It's several families. Because the country is for sale. You can buy things. So people just stack up on assets. But that's what I have for y'all. We've been in this thing for 2 hours. That was really not my goal. But essentially, I will be doing a lot of construction related stuff. So there'll be no show tomorrow and Easter's coming up. So I'm going to enjoy this weekend off. There may be I think I recorded something about low effort parents. I may play it. It's kind of mean, but I'm probably put it up and play it. And there's a few other videos we chopped up. We'll put it into the mix and play those while I'm going away for the next probably 5, 6, 7 days. I don't know how much longer. A lot of work to be done. Lots of drone footage, but hopefully y'all like it in the end. Good times. Don't give up. Ignore the distractions. Get the bags for sure. Get the bags because they're really available. I mean, on a level unknown. It just depends on the vehicle you want to use to get there to get it. So anyways, you guys, this is Sugar Erica from the Classic Climb blog. Have a wonderful evening and we out.
Hi, I'm Brandy Williams, founder of Williams Accounting and Tax Services in McDonough, Georgia. We're a full-service accounting firm proudly serving clients nationwide, including military families and U.S. expats. With over 20 years of experience as an IRS enrolled agent, we've got you covered from past tax returns to business services and strategic tax planning. Visit WilliamsActTax.com. Let's get connected and take your finances to the next level.